Welcome to Cooking with Bubbles. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. Let's get started.
Okay.
Ooh, pop.
Little bottle.
Yes.
Not as much pop.
Mm.
Oh, very nice. Love the way that looks. So pretty.
The book champions.
And we do a little splash of cranberry. A little extra flavor there.
Me too. Yum.
All right. A little more bubbles.
The little bottle fits nicely in a glass. There we go. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it does. It's perfect.
There we go. Cheers.
Clink.
Mm.
Mmm.
So delicious.
Happy drink.
Yes. Well, Lisa, here we are.
All right.
Doing what we love doing. That's cooking together and drinking Prosecco. So all you bubblers out there, feel free to pour your own glass of bubbles and enjoy the show. I also want to point out we're wearing our fancy Cooking with Bubbles aprons, and we'll tell you later how you can get yours.
That sounds really good. Well, you're away. I'm still in town. You're off camping or glamping, your fancy fifth wheel. But we're still getting to spend time together, which is awesome. I absolutely love doing it. And I'm happy about what our recipe is going to be today. But tell me what it is. What are we making?
We are making delicious chicken wings, and we're making them in the air fryer. And you're going to be blown away about how tender and crispy these are going to turn out.
Oh, that is excellent. I absolutely love crispy chicken wings. And I'm excited to make these at home. I mean, generally, I only get to have these when I order something out because some of the people who live in this house don't love wings nearly as much as I do. So I'm happy to make these today at home. So let's have some bubbles.
Let's drink the bubbles at home.
Sounds good.
Well, Lisa, I like my wings crispy too.
That's what he said.
And so this is very simple to make. I'm just going to put the air fryer in so that it can get started.
Okay, me too.
Good. And this recipe is so easy. As long as you can plug in an air fryer, you can even make these while you're camping or glamping, as I like to call it, glamour camping. So here's what we need for this recipe. We need about 2 pounds of chicken wings, which is about 12, give or take, thawed, a teaspoon of olive oil, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of paprika. And for the mixture, the flour mixture, we're going to use a half a cup of flour, another teaspoon of salt, another teaspoon of pepper. So that's the wings. And then we're going to make this amazing sauce. And I'm sticking to old-fashioned buffalo sauce. You're going to mix yours up a little bit, and you can tell us about that in a second. The sauce that I'm making is a half a stick of unsalted butter that I will melt, a tablespoon of hot sauce, and there's several choices for you to choose from, and a teaspoon of dried parsley.
Well, that sounds really good. This is one of those cool recipes that if you like wings, you can pretty much toss it with any kind of flavorings that you want, which is kind of nice. Like you mentioned, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to use a little bit of lemon pepper with mine, but I'm also going to use the other ingredients that you mentioned. So it's going to be really tasty. But you could do Thai chili, you could do honey mustard. I mean, you name it. It's just ridiculous what you could do to make these taste good.
Lots of choices. Well, I'll drink to that.
Me too.
Yum yum. So to prep for this dish, I've already coated my air fryer with so that's done, and I'm preheating the air fryer. While I get the chicken ready, with this recipe, it's best to start with thawed chicken wings, and mine were actually never frozen. Mine were fresh because in this house couldn't find the frozen ones in the grocery store, so we got the ones from the butcher counter, which is great. So to get things started, I'm going to mix the spices together. So we've got our onion powder, garlic powder, we've got our paprika, and our salt. Just going to mix these all in one single bowl.
it's a good thing is to make sure they're really well coated too, so that all that seasoning gets on every piece.
Yeah, and just just a tip for food safety and kitchen safety. I put on a food safe glove, a food handling glove, coat my wings with oil so that I didn't have to touch them because I don't like touching chicken.
Yeah, I know.
And
You
I
don't have to, it's better. I'm using gloves too.
don't mind touching raw chicken, then go for it, knock yourself out. I just prefer not to. So I'm gonna put on my little food handling glove here. Do exactly what you're doing. I have a little bit more.
Got mine mixed up. Oh, smells good. Those spices smell really good, Rodney.
Yes.
And so then from here, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do what? Start flouring these?
Yeah, so now that we've got them coated with the seasoning, we're gonna dip them in the flour mixture, which I've already mixed mine together, and it's basically just flour, salt, pepper. And this will just give it a little bit of crisp and help get it cooked nicely. So we'll do a couple of them here, and then we'll take a pause and we'll do the rest. I'm just gonna dab it in lightly, not too much flour. And I'm putting mine on a
I'm
plate.
shaking them.
I think you're putting yours on a rack, right?
I am. I'm putting them on a rack. I'm shaking them off as I dip them just so that I don't have a lot clumping.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
just keeping them separate on the rack seems to be good.
Cool. Well, we'll pause and we'll finish these up, and then we'll come back and tell you what's next.
Okay.
Well, welcome back. That was really easy to get those all coated. And so now we're ready to put them in the fryer. So what do we do next, Lisa?
So basically, we're going to put them in the air fryer, making sure that we leave space between them because you don't want to overcrowd them. Otherwise, they'll get kind of clumped on top of each other. So just make sure there's room between all of them. Even if you have to do these in batches, it's better to do that than to have them stuck on top of each other. So I'm just going to place them in there. A little bit of space.
Okay. Well, once we get them all in there, we're going to turn our air fryer down. So we heated it to 400, but we're going to turn it down to 380. And we're going to cook it 12 minutes, and then we're going to look at them and go from there.
Sounds good.
Back. Well, welcome back. Here's how great these wings look. I'm going to show you over here on my counter cam. They look really nice. We're just going to flip them over, and we're going to cook them for another 12 minutes. And oh wow, I can tell these are going to be nicely crisp.
They are. They already look good.
So we're going to cook them for another 12 minutes once we flip them. And we want to make sure that they get to 165 degrees internal temperature. So we will pull out our meat thermometers and check that when we get them out. Okay,
so while we're waiting for these to cook, Rodney, why don't we go ahead and make our wing sauce?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That'll be good. And I'm going to go with the fairly traditional sauce, like I mentioned before, with unsalted butter. But I am going to mix some lemon pepper together with mine. So I've got the melted butter already. You're going to go ahead and mix your sauce now?
Yep. And then because I have so many wings, I'm making a double recipe. So it's going to look like a lot of butter.
So I'm going to mix my butter with my hot sauce. It's a little bit more than a tablespoon because I like it that way. And there goes my lemon pepper. That's going to go in there. And dried parsley. So I'll just give those a quick spoon. And I'll let these sit while the wings continue to cook. So it's going to be nice sauce. You can always add more hot sauce to it if you like, or more butter, whatever. There's really no wrong way to mix this up. But I am getting a really pretty kind of an orange sauce out of the mix.
Yeah, mine's a little yellow, so I'm going to add that because, why not?
Yeah, it'll be good. So we'll come back once these wings have finished cooking, and then all we have to do is toss them together and give them a taste.
Love it. All right, we'll be back. We're back. I've tasted the sauce and it is amazing. And we would really encourage all of our bubblers to experiment with different sauces to meet your own tastes.
Absolutely. You know what? These came out absolutely beautiful. They're nice and brown. They're all crunchy. Let me look at that. 24 minutes in the air fryer. They're just excellent. So really all we have left to do is to toss these in some sauce. And I'm just going to add a little bit at a time so that I don't, it's not overkill. Toss a little bit of that in there.
Oh my goodness.
I don't like it too clumpy with sauce.
Oh.
Oh my God, it's so good. And they smell wonderful. They look good. Go ahead and get these guys plated.
We did test the temperature and both of ours were over 165 degrees.
Yeah. Mine was closer to actually 200 in the last bit, but that's how I like it. I want it to be nice and crispy, and you know, they're going to cool down a little bit too. So before we taste it, I'm going to have a few bubbles.
I agree.
Yum, yum.
Well, I
Can
like
we give these a taste.
So here we go.
If they're not too hot and burn our mouths. Oh my God, so good. Wow. Really good.
Wow, I can't believe we did this.
You can get the crunch. You can hear it probably.
Pretty good crunch.
Wow. So delicious.
Well, Lisa,
A little celery.
we've done it again.
So good.
I'll drink bubbles to that.
I will too. I can't wait to get back to these wings.
Wow. Very good. Very tasty. Awesome. Well, we'd like to thank our virtual audience for joining today. Thank you so much for watching Cooking with Bubbles. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a bubbler at cookingwithbubbles.com. Once you've done that, click on the bell symbol so that you receive notifications whenever we post new episodes. Also, remember to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/cookingwithbubbles. And Facebook is where we post our recipes and all the pictures that you see us taking along the way while we're cooking.
So we mentioned to you earlier, we let you know how to get your own Cooking with Bubbles apron. Send us an email and we'll tell you all about it. They come in black, white, red, and blue. And also, if you've made any of the recipes that we featured here on Cooking with Bubbles, we'd love to see your pictures. So send those to us by email as well. Or if you have suggestions on things you'd like to see us do on Cooking with Bubbles, please send us an email, cookingwithbubbles@yahoo.com. Well, Rodney, that takes care of it for today. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Rodney. See you next time, Bubblers.
Bye.